So, you know how they would tell us, work hard? But working hard is not enough. And for many of us, it never was. And I dare say it never will be. So we did everything we were told to do, right? We work hard, we save, we hustle, we grind, and yet somehow we still feel as if we're falling behind. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever checked your bank account at the end of the month and wondered, how did I get here? Anybody? Mm-hmm. But it's not because you were not working and earning, but it's because there are things that are just not adding up. And let me tell you this, I know that feeling only too well. And for me, that story started back in Tobago. So, I was raised on the island of Tobago by a single mother and an entire village that believed in the power of community. We didn't have much, like most people on the islands, right? But I never felt poor. We always had just enough to eat, just enough. But we had loads of fun, and we grew up in a community where we had enough people around us to remind us that we mattered. And that kind of environment shapes you. It teaches you to be resourceful, to stretch what little you have, and to believe in possibilities even when they are hard to see. And for a very long time, well, not too long, but I carried that mentality into my adulthood. I was working hard, ambitious, and I started making good money. But here's the thing. At the end of every month, even though I was making really good money, I still had nothing to show for it. Zero. And I could tell you, I know that I am not alone in this. I remember I used to go to the supermarket and I would just go from aisle to aisle, just picking up everything and putting it in my cart. I'd go without a list because I had no plan, just no plan. I just know that I wanted everything from every aisle that the supermarket had. And more often than not, a lot of the things I bought went to waste. But at that time, it didn't matter because I could afford it. So what is the big deal, right? And for someone who grew up not having much, being able to walk through a store and buy what I wanted felt powerful. I felt as if I was making up for all the years I had to go without. But here's what I have learned. Spending without intention is just another version of lack, only dressed up in a nicer outfit. I wasn't shopping because I needed anything. I was shopping to soothe something I hadn't dealt with. I was still carrying the mindset of someone who had nothing. So even with more money in hand, I was making decisions that didn't reflect who I was becoming. That's when I realized I had to stop living like the girl who had nothing and started to show up as a woman who could break generational cycles, not just financially, but emotionally and mentally as well. And that, my friends, did not start with a budget. It started with a decision, a shift in how I saw myself, a decision to live and lead with intention. You see, for most of us, we were taught to hustle, to work hard, to sacrifice, to spend long hours at work. And while hard work is important, we all know, all of us in this room know that Hard work alone does not guarantee wealth. Or we'd all be wealthy, or most of us at least would have been wealthy if hard work alone did it. I know people who are working 2 jobs and still barely making it. I also know professionals with 6-figure salaries and still live in fear of the next emergency. I mean, Whoopi has $60 million, sorry, and she is afraid of retirement. Right? So it's not just how much you earn. It's about how you manage, how you decide, and how you see yourself. Because, I'll tell you this, if you don't believe you deserve it, you will find a way to sabotage what you have been given. Hard work without direction is exhaustion. And I don't want you to be exhausted. I want you to start asking yourself, is what I'm doing with my money building the life I actually want? Or am I just repeating habits I never questioned? So, what is financial intention? For me, financial intention is about alignment. It's about making decisions that match the life you want to live. Intention is clarity, it's courage, and it's commitment. It is saying, this is what I want my life to feel like, and this is what I need to do with my money to support that life. And it's not about perfection. It's not about having all the answers. It is about taking ownership. So, let me walk you through 3 pillars that change everything for me. And I believe that if applied, they can change everything for you as well. 1, clarity. You cannot build what you haven't defined. If you tell the carpenter or the builder, just build a house for me, and you even tell him what house you want, right? If I ask you right now, what does your ideal financial life look like? Could you answer me? And I don't mean in vague terms. Like, I want to be comfortable, or I don't want to worry about money. Those are vague terms. What I mean is clarity. What does freedom look like for you? What do you want your money to make possible for you? What kind of life are you designing? What are your money values? Because money on its own means nothing. It is what it allows you to do, feel, give, and become that matters. So I want us to stop chasing money and start getting clear on what money is for. 2, courage. And this is a very big one, because once you get clear on what you want, you'll have to face every single thing inside you that says you cannot have it. Old beliefs, old stories, cultural baggage, family expectation, self-doubt. And this is where intention becomes powerful. Because intention will force you to confront the parts of yourself that still believe you don't deserve it. But I'm here to tell you that you do. You deserve peace, you deserve options, and you deserve to make decisions from a place of power, not pressure. And it will take courage for you to claim that. And finally, we have commitment. Because intention without action is just a nice idea. This is where transformation sticks. The budgets, the boundaries, the savings, the planning, it all happens inside of commitment. But commitment becomes easier when it's tied to why you're doing it. You're not just budgeting, you're building breathing room for yourself. You're not just saying no, you're making space for the things that matter. And this I know for sure. When you treat your money like it matters, your life starts to follow. I want you to think about this. There are people in your family, maybe even generations way back, who prayed for a better life, who worked hard, who sacrificed, and dreamed of more, even if they never got it. I want to tell you this. You are their answered prayer. But what happens next? Does the cycle of struggle continue with you? Or do you become the one who breaks it? Legacy isn't built when you die. It's built by the decision you make every single day with your time, with your voice, and with your money. So I'm asking you now, what kind of legacy are you building? Because I want you to let this be your moment. Let this be the day that you stop playing small with your life and with your finances. Decide today, now, right now in this very room, that you no longer see yourself as someone who can't. That you will no longer carry the identity of that little boy or girl who never had. That you will step into the role of the man or woman who chooses. Because that is what intention is. It's not a feeling, it's a decision. And every decision you make from here on in is either going to take you closer to the life you want, or it's going to keep you stuck in the life that you have outgrown. When you decide that you're worthy, money becomes your servant and not the other way around. You deserve a life that feels safe, that feels spacious, that feels like yours. And it all begins with one powerful decision: to lead your financial life with intention. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for Judy.